So, a warning before this podcast starts. There's this one character that is extremely horny, and there's this other character that's extremely angry and has murderous intentions. This is a fictional character, remember this. So basically there's this one guy talking to himself for an extended period of time. And those two characters I previously mentioned grunt a lot. And once you get past the 20-minute mark, then I'm pretty sure they're gone. So, if you want to go ahead and do that, that would be great. But watch the second episode, because it'll be better than the first one, for sure. And have a nice day. Okay. Hi. Welcome to the Egg Podcast, the excellent gallant group producing observatory deductions currently apparent since today. I'm your host, Doughnut. For your best viewing experiences, I have removed the first 15 minutes of this podcast because of how cringe it is to listen to. It's still going to be cringe, but it's less now, so you can actually enjoy whatever it is. Come for the next one. Just, if the next one is out, don't listen to this one at all. Alright, bye. Yeah, and honestly, I just recommend getting better. Honestly. Yeah, and also, we've kind of just, ignored number 5 and number 6. Yeah, I kind of just, muted them. I didn't mute 6, though. I have no idea what's happening with 6. 5 I've muted. He's just yelling right now. Right? Should we, fix that? Or is it, are we just fine leaving 5? Yeah, we're fine leaving 5. Is 5 having, a brain seizure or something? What's wrong with him? I don't like to make fun of 5, but is he, dumb? Kinda isn't. He's just very angry. Also, I've muted number 4, because he's just aggressively moaning. We don't want that in this podcast. So yeah, it's just the 3 of us. Well, 4 of us if we include 6. So yeah. Should we move on to the next topic? Yeah, let's move on to the next topic. I don't feel comfortable in this topic now. Let's go on to the next one. What was it again? Tutorials and stuff. What, how are tutorials being done? Would you improve any of them? From the knowledge you've obtained, obviously. But would you do a tutorial? And how would you do it? What are the things that you would do? Well, for me personally, if I'd do a tutorial, I'd I'd make it entertaining, you know? I'd bring all the audience's attentions, to focus, right? So that they're having a fun time and I'm having a fun time. And then it's just all of us together is just having a great time. They're learning and I'm giving them information which makes me happy personally. That's how I would do a tutorial. I'd obviously throw in the whatever the smart things that needs to be thrown in. But like, it'll just be great, I must say. Yes. If I were to do a tutorial, the teachings of the minds to another individual, um, it would be more of a learning kind of curve. I'd teach them all the ins and outs of said thing that I'd be teaching them. Uh, it would be simple for me, at least. For them, they'd be indulging in a lot of new information that they probably haven't been taught before. So for me to teach them all in one spot of how every single thing works, it'd be too much for their mind to handle. So I'd have to try to give the information that I'm teaching to them in small doses. Therefore, it would be easier for them. But it would be harder for me in the process because I'm having to split up my information that I have obtained into smaller pieces than I've already put it and feed it to them, only a teaspoon at a time. It is extremely difficult, I must say. But in the end, it is a job that must be done. Okay then. Well, if that's how you guys would do your tutorials, like, I kind of like the way that you two, like, you, Doughnut 2 in specific, like, just would have like a fun atmosphere, right? Like, I could sense it in you that you would just like have a kind of fun atmosphere to uh the whole tutorial thing. Like, if you ever made one, I'd watch it. It sounds fun. I'd watch that. Yeah. Like, if I did make one at some point, yeah, I'll send it over to you, and then you can watch it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's yeah, make one, do it, right? And like, Doughnut 3, like, I'd watch your tutorial, like, take like a more in depth kind of thing. Like, it's just your whole nature and like how you explain stuff. I find it like it's calming. It's kind of like a kind of going to sleep kind of thing, but it's informational for sure. Um, so doing that is like, if you made one, that is, it would be pretty cool. And yeah, for me personally, if I were to make a kind of tutorial, like for somebody, it would, I would try to make it entertaining. Like, wouldn't we all? Yeah. Um, cause like, if you don't entertain the viewer, um, entertaining is like really important to like keep the viewer focused, right? Yeah. Like, to keep them focused. Yeah. So like, if you want to keep the viewer focused, you need to entertain them with like bright, colorful stuff, I guess. Yeah, I guess that works. Um, but like, if me personally, if like, I'd try to entertain them, but then I'll try to like get as much information across as possible. So basically, I would try to combine both of your guys' methods um into my into a fun action packed tutorial, I guess. Like, I don't know. Um what would you guys teach in your tutorials, like, specifically, like, not as like a general broad term, but like, what would you talk about, or like, what would you teach? Um, I I think I'll teach like how to do like colorful pop art and stuff like that. Like how to make cool cartoon characters because it seems fun, you know? It just seems fun, joyful. And like it's just it makes me happy inside to make that stuff. And like if I can make other people do it and stuff and they feel happy inside, then that makes me feel happy inside. So it's an all-around win-win. That that does sound pretty good. Yeah, you got this pretty thought out. Yeah, I kind of have. Yeah. Um Donut 3, what would you make a tutorial on? I With the knowledge that I have obtained throughout my current years of living, um, I would do like more advanced stuff. Since we're all kind of in the kind of art, the drawing, creative side of stuff, I would do the more advanced stuff. So like, I expect you to already know the basics of the craft. And then if you'd have nowhere to go, you would come to me, the expert in the knowledge, in the craft. Because there's always more to learn. And for me to continue that knowledge train going, I would be here to lead you along, I guess. Here to show you the way. And it could work. It could. That does sound very interesting. Yeah. Those are some pretty good views and stuff. Yeah. I don't know what else to say, but there's some pretty cool ideals, I guess. Well, it's the current subject that we're currently talking about, so. Yeah. Um, I guess that kind of leads into the next, subject. Ew. What is this podcast about? Like, why has it started? Like, what is this podcast about? Like, what are we gonna talk about on this podcast? Like, on, for one, on this episode, and for a second thing, on every other episode. Would you guys like to give your, ideas? Um, okay. For me personally, as one of the guests on here, uh, I've how do I explain this? If I were to continue, if I were continuously watching this podcast, um, I would want to see, like, or hear some more kind of knowledge in the what's how and what's happening kind of thing on, like, what's happening in the art and artist community, the animation community. Like, if we just use our minds and expand it a little with more creative endeavors on hand instead of wanting to make a cool looking thing move, right? I'd want to see, like, oh, here's a PDF to a interesting programming summary or something. Like, see some more of that stuff would be really cool. Like, some more resources to have, like, while doing stuff, I guess. Well, yeah, just like you want more resources like on the uh uh mm, wait, what's the hold on, my brain's just lost wording. Oh, that's all right. It's happened to me all the time. Too much knowledge stored up in here. You don't know what to do with it. Yeah, yeah. Um, I just completely forgot what we were talking about. Honestly, yeah, it's perfectly fine. It's natural. It happens all the time to me. It'll happen to you. Yeah. Um, how about we just go to donut number two? Well, for what I want to see on the podcast, um, it's just like I want to like from future onwards. I just want to see like more like happiness and like stuff like that expressed on the podcast. Yeah, to just to see or to hear even people just excited about the craft and like what they're doing with it. It it would be beautiful just to capture those feelings of ecstaticness. You know, when you feel it in your bones, it kind of goes electric wavy when you turn it on. You know. Yeah, yeah, I feel you. Um, yeah. So you just want like more positive vibes of this podcast future onwards. Yeah, that that's that's what this podcast needs to have more of. Just great podcastingness. Okay. Um, and Donut 3, you wanted like more resources and stuff like every now and then, right? Just like just helpful things or whatever. Yes, that would be just superb. Just to see like a place to gather more knowledge. It would be amazing. We can talk about it. Like, yeah. Talking about it would be easier and more fun. I feel like because a lot more stuff can happen and stuff. Yes, yes. Obviously, of course. Um, yeah. I don't know. I guess it moves on to this next subject. It does, doesn't it? It sure does. Can I introduce it? Can I? Go ahead. Ah, you little. Oh my god. Ah. Why does this podcast exist? Like, you have it down in the topics. And it's kind of like the last topic we have, and like, we're at 30 minutes, so like, is it gonna be like half a podcast, or is like what? Because this is the last topic you have. I'm kind of worried for you, Donut. I've got this mostly under control. Let's just talk about why this podcast exists. Alright, I'm placing my trust in you, Donut. Okay. Donut. So yeah. Question. Why does this podcast exist? Uh, well, you're the host, so you kind of need to ask you. Um, I am the host, but canon, you guys are from other universes, parallel or timeline. True, true. That is Correctamundo. Yeah. Um, True. You see, why I was brought here was through a means of neurological brain transmissions, which then forged us into this Discord call where we're currently talking, and you've got like two people muted. Yeah, they are very unhelpful. So, yeah. Uh, yeah. So the reason why this podcast exists is honestly just to explain and like hear from people what they've been doing, like what current projects are happening, like see um what people are doing and stuff, like what the projects are going, what kind of projects they're doing and going for. And yeah, it's just great to hear what people are animating or drawing or what kind of events they're working in. It would be great because yeah, a lot of them don't get enough recognition that they should be getting, in my own opinion. Uh Doughnut too, why do you think this podcast exists? Like, as a guest kinda view. Well, I think this podcast exists for the sole reason of being like a fun thing that you can just goof around with your friends in. Honestly, like professional or not, it is kind of fun to be in, with like the right topics and if it was like more planned out, I guess. Like, but apart from that, it's kind of great to be in. Like, I'm having a lot of fun. Like, just talking with you guys here. Like, damn. It's really cool. I really cherish you guys as friends. Man, feels nice. Yes, I also feel the emotion of happiness when I am in this uh podcast with you guys. These are not artificial feelings I am currently conjuring because that would be dishonest, and I don't like being dishonest with my fellow peers. Um, so, yeah. For my own opinion, why this podcast exists is beyond me, honestly. Like, you don't really need it. There's not much purpose. It's not making anything better than it already is. Right. You're just doing something that's already been done before, but you're doing it. Yeah, that's the general point. This has been done before, but now I'm doing it. So somehow it changes the reasons why it exists. Uh yeah. So yeah, it exists for the whole purpose that it's being. Right. Imagine it as something in space. It just is there. You don't know its intentions yet, but through further investigation, it might have a reason to be just flown in space. It just works. Yeah. So, um, yes, we kind of ran out of topics. We have not run out of topics yet. We haven't. All right. Um, what's the next topic you wanna go for? Right, colors. Yeah, color. Sorry about that. Doesn't mind me, I guess. Thanks. So, colors. What is your favorite color? Donut number two. Well, I kind of like yellow because it gives me that happy feeling inside. It's warm like the sun. It just feels nice, and it's like pink and yellow. It gives me a nice happy feeling inside, and just makes. And it's like when shaded, like properly, you add the highlights, you add the shade to it. Like, let's say you had shade on the neck, you would add highlights to the hair, right? It just brings everything like kind of neatly in a bow, and it's really quite beautiful what colors can do to a piece of artwork. Like line art's amazing and all, but like if you really add like a dash of color here and there, maybe shade it a little, and then like add a little highlights to make it look extra pretty, it looks really cool. Um, yeah. Dono 3. You got anything to say about this? Um, honestly, when it comes to colors and stuff, for me personally, it's how the environment kind of inflicts on the character. Like, let's say it's this grassy meadow or something. The character in said field slash meadow would have like a sunny kind of look on them, like brightish colors. Unless there's a cloud overhead, then obviously they're shaded, or not shaded, a darker color because um, of the shadow cast upon them by the rain. Not rain, the clouds. Sorry, I'm thinking too far ahead of myself. Um, and yeah, it's all about from how I see it is, uh, how the characters' colors would be in present time. The environment would be changing how it would be color wise. Like it's all about the character and the environment inclusion. Because let's say you bring a video game character from one game into another game. For a better example, let's say you've brought my god, the cube, the companion cube from Portals 2 and brought it in to Super Mario Brothers. Any one of them. New Super Mario Brothers. Let's just say that. Right. For the companion cube to look like it belongs in the game, it needs a certain style to it, a certain touch of how the environment is treated in Super Mario Brothers. It's kind of like that, but in the artist world depiction. And obviously, you can change this if you want, like go into other areas of art that was not previously explored, or others that you have not currently found. But yeah, that's my view on it. Anyway, Doughnut, what is? You haven't explained. You haven't said your colors that you specifically like. Highlight shades. Come on, he's a big knowledge brain of yours. Just pump it out. No one's listening except us. Yeah. Honestly, I just like the way colors work in general. My favorite colors is like red and blue. That makes purple. So that's my favorite color. The way colors work in general, um, is interesting. Like it's an interesting concept because like if I see red, how many different shades of red could that one red be? And if you lower the shade or like lower the pitch of brightness to that -1, like what would the difference you would see? Like you wouldn't see much difference. But let's say you put it on a wall and it's a gradient, right? You would have made a gradient. How can you see like the colors fade from one to another? Like the way colors work in depth, it really surprises me. Um and yeah, it just boggles my mind sometimes. It's really interesting. Damn. So, Doughnut 2. Mm-hmm. What would what would you do if you were asked to be in a animation project? Like, let's say somebody walked up to you and said, "Hey, you want to animate this industry level anime movie thing, right?" What would you say to that? Um, at first I'd be skeptical because like they wouldn't just be walking around just asking random people, "Hey, you want to work on this anime?" But like, wait, is it like, do we know he's legit? No, you don't know that guy is legit or not. Oh, I wouldn't just say yes because that'd be a waste of my time in my opinion. You know. Uh, yeah, I guess so. It's like, it's honest, I guess. Yeah. If like I would want to work on it, but like, my God, what am I trying to say? If um we were, if I knew that he was legit, right, I'd probably want to work. No, because then I'd like have to animate like long hours and stuff. I need to do very hard stuff. God. Oh damn. Yeah, it does kind of be like that though. Yeah. Um, that sucks. Yeah, it kind of does. Like, let since I haven't been in the industry before, like the animation industry per se, um, I wouldn't know uh how hard the working conditions would be. Like there'd be deadlines obviously, but like how strict would those deadlines like be to get to? Um because it'd be kind of hard to like reach them. Yes, it would be because you'd be like under a lot of stress and discomfort. Um and you'd have to put like a certain amount of hours in every day to reach a product which you might not be happy with in the end. Yeah. So it's like it would kind of suck if you were to like animate like let's say for a couple months and then the then the animation company was just like, it isn't good enough after you like rushing it and stuff. Like, you kind of don't want to rush it, but then again, you kind of need to get it out at a certain time. Yeah, like that's why I personally wouldn't take the offer. But it could be a cool experience. True. Like if if I could experience it at least once, then that would be cool. I'd probably disappoint a lot of people, but it would be cool. Yeah, 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 exactly, exactly. Um yeah, I don't know. I kind of have this dream of just like working for an animation company, but I know the pay is kind of bad. Kinda. I'm not saying it is or isn't because I don't have much experience in it myself. Same, same, yeah. But like, it would be cool. Yeah, yeah. It would be cool to just try it out, like at least once, because then I'd have the knowledge and experience and stuff. Be cool. Yeah. Uh, I guess that's as long as we can like extend this. Um, After muting Doughnut 5 and 4 for like most of this podcast episode, they're probably not gonna come back. Doughnut 6, haven't really heard much from Doughnut. Doughnut 6, say something. Okay. Any final words you want to say before we go? Um, any final words, like, at all? So, yeah, follow me on Twitter, which is, Doughnut102, I guess. At Doughnut102. Yeah, that's my Twitter thing. Um, yeah, since technically we're all, like, the different parallel fucking universes stuff, uh, yeah, just go to the places and stuff. Thank you, Doughnut3, for that ecstatic wordplay. Yes, go check out the Twitter and stuff like that. Hopefully, we're able to do more podcasts like this. I might bring on a different guest. I don't know. Say in the comments who you would like to see on the podcast. I'll see what I can do. Um, this has been the Egg Podcast. Um, I'm Doughnut. I'm Doughnut. I am Doughnut. Oh yeah, I muted 456. You wanna say bye? Okay. Um, this is Egg Podcast. Bye.